everyday life in the Soviet Union. The shopping runaround. 1. I had heard about consumer shortage before going to Moscow, but only when we began to shop there did the Russian consumers' problems really have meaning for me. Customers, the word overweight in lines. But Soviet lines have a special quality all their own. Typically, the Soviet woman spends 2 hours a day in line, 7 days a week. Personally, I have known of people who stood in line 90 minutes to buy 4 pineapples and three, three and a half 3 hours to buy 3 large heads of cabbage, only to find the cabbage were gone as they approached the front of the line. Lines can run from a few yards to nearly a mile. Some friends of ours watched a line of people in Moscow signing up to buy rugs. The line lasted 2 days and nights and ran for across all through an apartment development. 2. In spite of all of this, the natural reaction of a Russian woman when she sees a line forming is to get in it immediately, even before she knows what is being sold. However, Soviet lines are more fluid than they appear. In most stores, for example, shoppers must stand in not one but 3 lines for any purchase. The first to select a purchase and find out its price. The second to pay a cashier somewhere else in the store and get a receipt, and the third to go pick up the purchase and turn in the receipt. 3. But in a dairy store one morning, I found out the game is both simpler and more complex than that. I went in to buy some cheese, butter, and bologna sauce, which were in 3 separate departments, each with its own line, 9 lines. 4. Rather quickly, though, I noticed that experienced shoppers were skipping the first stage. They knew what most items cost, so they went directly to the cashier for their receipts after studying prices. I did that too. Then I went to the cheese line, the longest, probably 20 people to get the worst offer with first. I was in line less than a minute when the woman in front of me asked me to hold her place. She darted off to the butter and milk line. The cheese line was moving so slowly that she got her butter and milk and returned before we had advanced 3 feet. I decided to take the rest too, and I got back with my butter while the cheese line was still inching along. 5. Then it suddenly occurred to me that all over the store, people were getting into line, holding places, laying, returning. Everyone was using the cheese line as home base. That was why it was barely moving. It kept expanding the middle. So I got the man behind me to hold my place, and I went off to buy my bologna. Once again, it worked. It took me 22 minutes to buy butter, sausage, and cheese. But instead of being furious, I felt as if I had beaten the system. 6. This competitive shopping gives an atmosphere of tension to Russian life. People barge into stores and bump into each other with faces set in combative expressions. "You have to understand," said a kind. gray-haired persons that for as long as we can remember, shopping has been a struggle, life is a struggle. 7. There is hardly any effective advertising to help shoppers. Americans complain about the constant commercials in the United States, but they might reconsider if they were exposed to the consumer blackout in Russia. A typical Soviet and might be if you want to arrive at old age and be beautiful, modest, through, thorough, and truthful, drink tea. Most newspaper publish without ads. The shopper has no shandy yellow pages or daily newspaper supermarket or department store ads to help her decide where to shop. 8. Bribery is widespread, low paid, $80 and until $20. Monthly sales clerks take a portion of attractive items and sell them secretly to regular customers who have either left a bribe in advance or can be counted on to pay a high price on delivery. 10 to 15 rubles on a 60 rubles raincoat is standard. In 1976, the ruble was equivalent to $1.32. 9. So common is this practice that the Soviet press is always complaining about it, but it doesn't do any good. Crocodile, the Soviet humor magazine, on once showed a department store employee promoting some newly arrived item. Their consumers in the later got the department 500 imported women's purses have been received. 450 of them have been bought by store employees. 49 are under the counter and have been ordered in advance for friends. One purse is in the display window. We invite you to visit the leather department to buy this purse. Thank you.